est un danseur chorégraphe israélien d'une quarantaine d'années. Il a grandi dans un kibbutz, présenté ses spectacles lors de tournées internationales et vit maintenant dans un très beau village du désert du Negev. Son point de vue sur le conflit est des plus intéressants. Nous quittons donc le clarinettiste pour rejoindre l'université de Beersheva où Nir nous attend.
My name is Nir Ben-Gal. I'm living in Mitzpe Ramon, in the middle of the desert in Israel. I was born in Kibbutz Rosh Hanikra, which is in the north of Israel. It's a society, around 300 people, that live together and work together, and actually there is no money at that time. Now it's different, but at those days you didn't get money for your work, but you get whatever is necessary. There is a dining room and everybody is eating together all the meals. You are not living in the house of your parents. There are parents, but you meet them only at 4 in the afternoon until 8. So that's one thing. The other thing is that everybody has to take a decision for everybody. Like if I wanted to go to dance, then all the people of the kibbutz were sitting and saying, okay, who's voting? Should he go to dance or not? Or learn, or I don't know, anything. And this can lead to some violence. And I would start dancing when I was 23 years old, which is, the time that people stop dancing. I just started, and it was like, I fell in love. For the first time in my life, I was like, wow, dancing, it's amazing. And we were doing very Israeli works. I mean, the language of the movement was very, very Israeli. But in Israel, you have the things of which is in our basic behavior, that if we will not protect ourselves, somebody will want to throw us to the sea. And it made people become very violent, and it's a big stress for our bodies. And always I thought, what does this idea that we grew, that if we will not protect ourselves, somebody will throw us to the sea, made to our body, this stress of surviving as Jewish or Israeli. And our career based on very Israeli aggressive movements. At a certain point we decided that we take out violence from our choreography, from our dance. And we used to work in the studio and doing nothing that has to do with violence, which leave us actually with nothing. Because you come to the studio and you tell a dancer, okay, now you throw this woman on the wall. Then everybody's happy. He knows what to do, she knows what to do, it looks wonderful. There is a conflict and it looks good and there is a beautiful dance. But if you take this out, we used to go home and Liat, my wife, she used to say every evening, but we have nothing. We worked all day and we have nothing to show. And we call it the dance of nothing. Since then, my body learned that I can live without violence in my body. And if you decide that violence is not necessary and nobody will throw you to the sea, it's just your mind, then life becomes totally different. When I say conflict, I mean maybe not to blame nobody. You can say that you don't have enough money to travel the world because your parents are not rich enough, or you say because of the government the situation is like this, or because of my girlfriend this and this, or because of my children. But always it's because of somebody did something, I'm something, which is totally not true. We do have this feeling of somebody is hitting us without, or somebody hate us without, nobody really care. When you are 16 and somebody is laughing in the street, you are sure he's laughing at you. And it has nothing to do.
Chapitre 1. La religion.
For me, religion is something that really stop us from really seeing God as it is, you know, and seeing the beauty of. And I don't really like this feeling of we are the best. We are a bunch of people that God chooses us. As more as I know people, there is no difference between Christian, Jewish, or Palestinian, or Muslims, or Buddhist. We are people, you know. We all want to live and be happy and fall in love. There is no difference between Israeli people and French people whatsoever. And there is no difference between people who live in a big city and people who live in the desert. We are people. There are differences, you know. It's the problem of the world, you know. It's my dance, it's my language, it's my religion, which is like, so what if it's yours?
Chapitre 2. Les Palestiniens.
From what I think is, or things I was facing, I remember we had to perform in a poetry festival. And the idea of the poetry festival was that Israeli and Palestinian and Arab people will meet. People from Egypt and from Syria and from Gaza. And there was a decision of the Palestinian people that they will not participate in this festival. And I felt like this is so strange, you know. In Israel, the artist will do anything to bring peace and to meet the Palestinian. And in the other side, the artists are like trying to create their own identity. So I think my feeling is that my identity as an Israeli, as a Jewish, is so strong that I don't mind to throw it away or to meet other people. But I think that the identity of the Palestinian is not clear so much for them.
Chapitre 3. Le conflit israélo-palestinien.
You know, I thought about this today when I was driving here. I don't know why I thought about this, but I thought it's amazing how in our life we always happy to blame somebody else for our problems. And I know why. My son, he's going to Poland now. You know, the Jewish Israeli children, they go to Auschwitz, to Poland. And he's really excited, especially his grandfather and grandmother, they're from there. So he's really excited. And I thought, like, the Nazis, the German people at that time, they were sure that the Jewish people are creating all the problem, and if they solve this problem, then the problem will be solved. And they were really sure about this. I mean, they didn't thought about we are doing horrible thing. They were sure that that's the best thing they're doing for the world. Now when you see it, you say, it's so stupid. But then you see the white people in America who hate the black people, or the French people who hate the foreigners, or the Belgian people who hate the people from Antwerpen, and the Palestinian who hate the Israeli, or the Israeli who hate everybody who's Arab, and everybody is hating the Jews still. But it doesn't matter who you are and what is your religion and what is your color, and you always will think that somebody is blamed for your problems, and the black people are sure that's the white people, and the white people are sure that's the black people. And I don't know why Israeli and Palestinian are not dealing well, but can you answer me why black and white people cannot, why men and women cannot find the solution? I think when I don't listen to myself, then I can't hear other people. I have 2 children, 2 boys and 2 girls. I mean, I have 4 children. The first came 2 boys, and my life was so easy, you know. I understand what they say and why they say it and what they want, and I can always give it to them. Then the 2 girls come, and I have no idea what they want, why they want it now, how can I give it to them. sometimes I don't have a clue why they put this sentence next to this sentence. It's like they're talking totally another language. If they come with me with a problem, I want to solve the problem, but they don't want to solve the problem. They want to talk about the problem. That's one thing. So I start to listen to them, and I don't say anything. I just listen, and all the time I have to say to myself, it doesn't say anything about you. They just talk about themselves. You listen. You learn something. And since then, my relationship between me and my wife become much better because I listened to her. Before I didn't listen. I was sure I know everything, and if she said something I didn't understand, I was shouting and screaming and fighting for my life, for my truth, for my ideas. So I don't think it's a problem between Israeli and Palestinian. You look around and you see people who doesn't listen to other people. Men who doesn't listen to the wives, neighbors. The most problem I have with my neighbors, not with Arab people.